matter of courtesy and tradition, when we elect a new president, the outgoing cabinet members resign. Do you know when President Nixon received Ramsey Clark's formal letter of resignation? About an hour before my confirmation. I'm John Mitchell. Don't believe everything you've heard about me. Ramsey Clark gave me the finger on the way out the door.
Which one? Maybe it was just a thumb.
Abby Hoffman, Tom Hayden, Jerry Rubin, Dave Dellinger, Rennie Davis, Lee Weiner, John Freunds, and Bobby Seale.
How do you see them?
Vulgar, anti-establishment, antisocial, and unpragmatic, but none of those things are indictable.
Then imagine how impressed I'll be when you get an indictment.
That's supposed to be Fred. The one I've seen in the other movie looked much bigger.
Did you have breakfast?
I did.
What are you doing?
I'm talking to him about breakfast because that's the only thing I'm allowed to talk to him about.
How about the weather?
Now, your friends here, they shouldn't sit together. The jury's not going to like that.
Spread out, okay? In pairs.
And Fred?
And take your very scary hats off.
And your shades too, please. They are even scarier.
Let the record show that we have been joined by our 12 jurors and 4 alternates. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning, Mr. Judge.
At the defense table are the 8 defendants. Now, the defendants would tell you.
Why 8? The movie is called Trial of the 7.
There are 2 Hoffmans in this courtroom, Abby Hoffman and myself, Judge Julius Hoffman. I didn't want there to be confusion on the matter.
Man, I don't think there's much chance they're going to mix us up.
You will not address this court.
Yes, Dad.
Defendant Hoffman and I are not related.
Father, no.
Mr. Dillinger,
Dellinger, Your Honor.
what's going on here?
Your Honor, you're referring to the defendant Dellinger.
Derringer.
Dellinger, sir.
Note the prosecution was referring to the defendant Derringer, not Dellinger.
It is Dellinger, Your Honor.
Mistrial, mistrial.
Who's your lawyer?
Charles R. Gary.
Is Mr. Gary here today?
No, he is not.
Your Honor.
Are you representing Mr. Suit?
No, sir.
Then sit. I will not permit him to address the jury when his perfectly competent lawyer is
For the
sitting...
4th time, he's not Bobby's lawyer.
Don't ever do that again.
Does anyone think our judge might be crazy?
The judge isn't a problem.
Give it time, I think he's gonna be.
I was told that the Youth International Party would be holding a festival of life in Grant Park, that there would be thousands of young people attending. They also said that there would be public fornication.
Say that again, sir.
Public fornication.
You're asking for a parks permit for public fornication?
And rock music.
No, of course not.
What if it was R&B?
Further cross-examination, Mr. Kunstler. Mr. Hampton is clearly giving Mr. Seal legal advice.
My lawyer is Charles Gary.
For all you know, Mr. Hampton is giving Mr. Steele the score of the White Sox game.
The court assumes that you are being represented by the Black Panther sitting behind you.
What the fuck? This guy.
Strike the entirety of Mr. Stoll's testimony under cross-examination, and the jury is instructed to
This
disregard
guy's
it.
doing
You're going to
whatever he
strike the
wants.
entire cross-examination. Move to reinstate testimony.
Overruled.
Is that guy really just an idiot? Or has he orders he needs to follow?
No further questions.
I'd like to cross-examine the witness.
6 and 11.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Jurors 6 and 11, they're with us. 11's been nodding during the stall cross.
Falling asleep?
It's been brought to my attention that 2 of our jurors have received threatening notes from a member or members of the Black Panther Party.
Which 2 jurors?
The one on your side, of course.
Before we talk
Please.
with...
Your parents received this note this morning in their mail.
My parents?
My parents are dead.
Did they manipulate the jury pool? How come there's nobody who looks like me?
All right, raise your hands if any of you ever shown up for jury duty.
He's sequestering the jury.
Of course he is.
I want an expert in geriatric psychiatry sitting in the gallery for a few days. I want a medical evaluation of this judge. We move to strike the order for sequestration of the jury, which was made by Your Honor sua sponte motion.
Hold on. Mr. Rubin, Mr. Hoffman. What are you wearing?
It's an homage to you, Your Honor.
Do you have clothes underneath there?
Yes.
Take off the robes, please.
Police, stay back.
Listen, everybody stay cool.
Shut up. I tell him to get back.
You fucking moron. He's
Tell him
helping
to
you.
get back.
Did he tell the crowd to back down?
Everybody get back. I'm all right. Stay cool.
He was egging them on.
Oh, yeah, sure.
I am being denied right
Mr.
now
Seal,
my constitutional
will you be quiet?
right for
Will
legal
you?
representation.
Will you be quiet?
You have lawyers to speak for you.
No, he doesn't.
Contempt. Now he goes home and cries.
Cite Mr. Counselor with his second count of contempt.
Oh, shocking. What a moron.
I remember also at the front of the group was Mr. Allen Ginsberg.
Allen Ginsberg, the poet?
He was chanting a kind of war chant.
What's he doing?
Calming the energy.
Watch it.
Bring them safely back to the park.
We should be marching right up to them.
I don't think they're gonna surrender, man.
Keep it moving. Dave and I are gonna stay and make Tom's bail.
You're killing me, Allen. You're goddamn killing me.
He gives the signal to attack.
How would you characterize the mood of the crowd?
The witness is in no position to characterize the mood of 1,000 strangers.
Do you have an objection?
Yes, sir.
On what grounds?
On those grounds.
Even the audience members join in. Overruled.
Would the defense like to cross-examine the witness?
Yes, I'm sitting here saying that I would like to cross-examine the witness.
Only lawyers can address a witness.
My lawyer is Charles Gary.
I'm tired of hearing that.
Couldn't care less what you're tired of.
Premeditated murder! Yes, it was! Fred Hampton was assassinated last night!
Marshals, put Mr. Seal.
He would have been able to hold a gun in his hand?
I strongly caution you.
Strongly fuck yourself! Marshals, take that defendant into a room and deal with him as he should be dealt with.
What does that mean? Shoot him? What the fuck is this shit, dude?
Let the record show that I tried fairly and impartially.
Impartially. Let's underline that word.
Mr. Schultz, call your next witness.
Can somebody grow some balls?
Mr. Schultz?
Your Honor, our defendant is gagged and bound in an American courtroom. At this time, the government would like to make a motion that Bobby Seale be separated.
You want me to give him his mistrial?
Of course, because you took that black guy and you made him a sympathetic character.
Mr. Kunstler.
You'd like us to question the witness, this witness, outside the presence of the jury?
If I find any of the testimony relevant, I'll call the jury back in to hear it.
Yeah. So we won't see the jury today.
A cabinet officer does not have to and should not have to relate the contents of a private call he had with the president.
I thought objections were reserved.
Hearing from the witness on this point is highly irregular.
Well, gentlemen,
I'm out of excuses. I'm sorry.
I told him we wouldn't be seeking indictments. The riots were started by the Chicago Police Department. There was no conspiracy by the defendants.
And then what happened on the first Tuesday after the first Monday in November of that year?
Richard Nixon was elected president.
Sustained.
Nobody objected.
We do.
When the jury returns, will they be informed that the defense had called the former Attorney General of the United States of America, but this court ruled that he couldn't testify.
No, that motion will be denied.
On what grounds?
Cite Mr. Kutzler with his third count of contempt.
He just saw a spider and tried to squash it.
I have sat here for 6 months and watched you. You don't need to grab my arm. I have watched you. I've watched you.
I hope the jury will be informed of that. What an aggressive individual.
What's on the tape?
The sound of you starting the Chicago riot.
They had just cracked.
If blood is gonna flow,
Bill.
let it flow all over the city.
Our blood.
You didn't mean the cops. You were saying if they're gonna beat us up, then everyone should see it.
Yeah, obviously, but who's going to believe that?
The law requires that before sentencing, I allow the defendant or defendants to make a statement to the court.
Hold up, 2 people are missing. What happened to them?
Since this trial began, 4,752 U.S. troops have been killed in Vietnam, and the following are their names. Private First Class Dennis Walter Kidd.
Will not read 5,000 names for the record.
Lance Corporal Douglas W. Jackson.
Why are they in the audience now? I don't get that. Have I missed something?
Private First Class James Clinton DeFranco, 19 years old. First Lieutenant Donald Brian Mansell.
Mr. Schultz. Raise the fist, please.
Lance Corporal Harry Earl Palmer, 25 years old. Corporal Daniel Allen Frey, 19 years old.
He's hammering. Well, that was good. Sadly, it lacked some tension. This biased judge just made it quite obvious what the outcome was going to be, and once Michael Keaton's testimony was dismissed, the verdict was pretty much signed. So that took away from the movie a bit.